week either. Um, just been scanning on HF down here, and the bands are absolutely dead, which is a shame. On every band I tried, it's nothing but static, apart from 10, which is very little static, but no blooming signals either. So gave it up as a bad job while I was waiting for you to call in. Anyway, nice to be back again for this week. M0AUG, G6 Edison in the group.
G6 Edison in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, fine about that, and a nice signal from me this evening. And hope you're getting on very well with the 5100 there. Over to you there, Nick, on the list, G4IW in the group, M0AUG. Good evening.
M0AUG in the group from G4IW. Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Jeff. Good evening to you, Dave, and others on the net this evening. I have to say, I was delighted with last night's talk by Don, WV1W. I thought he gave an excellent presentation, some fabulous new ideas for antennas, and especially I think in the discussion afterwards, Robin from the north of Scotland made the point that I was thinking as well, that he loved reusing other bits of wire to make his equipment and doing these things very cheaply and very simply. So I thought it was great and very enjoyable, and I'm very pleased that we had him there and a nice turnout as well. So more on the next over. WX here is minus 0.4 at the moment. We've had some snow, but it's been melty on impact so far. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, fine enough, and sorry about the snow there, Nick, but that's what comes with living in the hills, isn't it? All we've had down on the coast is wind and rain today, so there we are. Let's see how we are over in Northern Germany now with our friends Mike and Adriana. DL1 BJW with DL8 BGT in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, both of you. Over to you, Mike, please.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to all. And hope everybody is doing great and is healthy and well. We are okay over here, but the WX is still a little bit problematic. It's still relatively cold with minus 4 degrees centigrade. So we have permanent frost, not only at night, but also during the daytime. And otherwise, it's a little bit difficult to walk on the pavements and on the streets because there are still great lumps of frozen snow or really ice, which has not been moved and which are a hazard when you are on your way as a walker, so to speak. It's very, very slippery. But okay, it's really winter time again, and we have been out of use of it. I think it's not so usual for us any longer. But okay. What regards the Zoom talk yesterday, it was really great. I was very impressed by the ideas of the presenter there. It is relatively simple to build up antennas and things which you need with them. When you look into your crap box, or how do you call it, and you don't need to buy expensive stuff from the dealers, obviously. There were a lot of good ideas, and I was really thinking that's a pleasure to know all this and to get new ideas. It's relatively simple to go on the air and to build something for it, even if you don't have new articles from the internet, new articles from the dealers. It's all possible, and it was a good thing to be reminded of that, so to speak. So I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, very good evening to all of you. This is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, first of all, as Mike just mentioned, also from my side, compliments for the talk yesterday. Yes, we are fiddling around with antennas for years, and I didn't thought that it's possible to be so surprised about the possibilities and varieties which Don had presented, and there are certainly some ideas which will be tried in the future. So that's all for the first overhand, and the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group.
TL8 BDT with DL1 BJW in the group. M0 AUG. Yes, thanks, John and Mike, for that. It was a very interesting talk, I thought, last night, and it does remind us to what can be done without necessarily going out and buying new things all the time. And I think that was very good indeed. A very, very good point that you brought up there, Jim. And who we're going to go to next is down to Lou. GAKJJ in the group, M0AG. Good evening, Lou.
M0 AUG in the group GAKJJ. Yes, very good evening, Jeff, and a good evening to everyone else on the net and those listening. The WX in Nottingham, wet, cold, gusty, best temperature 4 degrees Celsius. It's awful weather, but it's not as cold as it could be. The WV1W presentation was very interesting. The number and variety of portable antennas was astounding. There was a lot of food for thought in the presentation, and I've downloaded the Hamstick PDF, and it contains many good ideas. The last week has all been about getting the jobs done, and I've spent very little time operating. I have completed the 70 centimeter antenna, although it's not been tested in the field. The SWI is very good, ranging from 1.1 to 1, 1 to 1.5 to 1 across the 77's band. It's very light, weighing in at about 320 grams, so I'm quite pleased with that. I've also been working on a headset adapter for the ID50, and that's completed, and I'm using the ID50 tonight, and I would appreciate audio reports from the rest of the guys on the net. More from me on the next over. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, GAKJJ.
KJJ in the group, M0 AUG. No fine on that, Lou, and absolutely no problem on the audio. Very nice and clear from the ID50 there. So whatever you built is working very nicely for you. Well done. And good to have you on with us as usual this evening. Right, back over to Bob now in the US. We did miss you last week there, Bob. Hope all is okay. Good afternoon to you, and good evening. November 4 X Alpha Tango in the group, M0 AUG. M0 AUG in the group, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. It was my fault last week. I forgot that it was Thursday. You know, we retirees, we have a rough time keeping up with what day of the week it is. And I forgot that it was Thursday. Hi. and Lou, your audio was perfect. Your audio was perfect. I have no problem with it at all. We're in the midst of a heat wave here. It's about minus 4 Celsius, about minus 4 Celsius right now. It was minus 10 when I came into the shack. It was minus 10, so minus 4, I guess it's getting pretty comfortable now. Nothing like weather, huh? This morning I was very fortunate. So far today, Don and I have passed 4 emails back and forth. Don started out, he looked back in his log and found 2 entries from me where we had a 2-way contact with each other. And then we went on talking about Stu, who lives in Portsmouth and has activated several November 4 X Alpha Tango in the group M0AEG. You've just dropped out there, Bob. Back to you. My screen just went crazy, so I repeat. I really enjoyed Don's talk yesterday, and the nice part about it is most of the things that he mentioned I already have. I just didn't realize that I could put them to such good use. I probably have a box full of U.S. receptacles. I have several old extension cords. And I love the way that he could just plug those in and use them for ground plates or for antennas. And I have several of those key rings that he showed on that one to use as switches to make a multiple band antenna out of. So I learned quite a bit yesterday. So it doesn't matter how long one has been in amateur radio, the longer we're on, the more we learn, and that is good. I'll get into my activity on the next go around. Back to you, Jeff, M0AUG with the group. And good afternoon or good evening to everyone that's watching or listening. Back to you, Jeff, N4XAT. N4XAT in the group M0AUG returning there. Okay there, Bob. Yes, it's often right. We've all got boxes of stuff with wires and bits and this sort of thing, but it's just interesting to see that what we should be looking to do with these sort of things, and thanks for your contribution on that one there. I've got another on YouTube up tonight, but Nick will tell us when he comes over it. If we are, then good welcome to anybody on the YouTube channel as well. Right, I've got an internet connection for PS7 LIM, which is David's network, the doozy author over in the Netherlands there. But I can't see a connection to it. It is usually Paul G0 TVB who's playing around when PS7 LIM comes up. So, are you with us this evening, Paul? Nothing heard from Paul. I know he's got 2 connections going on his own as well, and this is quite normal for Paul. Okay, up to the borders now, and up to you, Keith. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AEG.
M0AEG in the group, GM4JKZ. Yes, good evening, Jeff and one and all our listeners if we are on YouTube as well. And yeah, the talk last night I thought was brilliant. I learned so much from the talks that are put on by Pennine Ham. What I particularly liked last night was the use of the key rings as short circuits. I thought that was quite novel, as long as you keep the tension there, of course. But what a great idea, I must admit. And what a variety of antennas as well. It made me, after I had a chat with Jim last night, I had a quick look round in my various boxes in the shack here. I reckon I can probably make a variety of different antennas with bell wire and all the other bits and pieces I've got. So something for this coming spring, summertime. Temperature-wise up here, it's a bit warmer. It's 2.5 degrees centigrade at the moment, and drizzle. So it's been raining on and off, basically. Had to take little dog to the vets for his jabs today. Before we got there, it poured down, so they had a walk in the house today rather than going out. Although the bigger dog, she likes to laze around in her bed lately. There we go. Just done a little bit of radio, FT8, not a great deal. I've been busy doing other things, but managed to work into Thailand, West Malaysia, Indonesia and Brazil, so signals were quite good. 40 metres tonight, I tend to agree, it's pretty dead at the moment. I did copy some signals earlier on, but it's gone way down. One other thing that I was going to suggest you have a look at, I have a bit of information about Ham Clock closing down later this year. I don't know if you've found openhamclock.com. I've been playing with it for the last couple of evenings, and it's extremely useful and very good. So it's worth having a look at that. It's not the details are not held, or your details are not held up on a server. They're held locally on a PC. So each time you access it, all your details are there instantly, and it's very fast accessing, I must admit. I've got audible use come the summer. My FTDX 3000 got a handle on the side, if I care to take that out, so that would be fun. But my battery at the moment, my leisure battery, is failing me. I've got the charger on at the moment. It's only showing 13 volts, and when the charger's off, we drop down to about 11.2, so I think that's going to be consigned to the recycling centre at some time in the very near future. Bob, yeah, retired. Yes, Tuesday night I sat up here at 7:30 wondering where everybody was and why I couldn't get onto the network, onto Zoom, until the message came up and said it's not until 24 hours time. So happens to the best of us. Lou, the audio is very good. And with that, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, the group, GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ, the group, M0AUG. Yes, we all do that, thinking things on different days, don't we? And I think it's very interesting, Keith, and yes, I can resemble that remark. Over to you there, Jeff in Belgium. Good evening. Oscar November November Tango in the group. M0AUG.
M0AUG, the group. 08 November Tango. A very good evening, very good day. And of course, I really enjoyed the meeting yesterday. So many good ideas, actually, which would not break the bank, actually, which is great. And by the way, you can download parts of his book, of his 3 books, actually. You can download parts of his 3 books, of which one is complete. You can get that as a PDF, but on Kindle, on Amazon Kindle, and you don't need to have a Kindle device. If you have a web browser, you go to Amazon Kindle, you look for his books, and you can download part of the books for free, actually. So, and if you really like it, then you can buy it. But that's just a tip. So I really enjoyed that. Very good talk from Don. And on Monday evening, I joined the RSGB at 8 session, which is broadcasted by the BATC and on YouTube about propagation. Steve G0 Kilo Yankee Alpha gave a overview of all the different tools that actually the RSGB has available to play with propagation and so on. And there was another very interesting talk, which I think is also available on the YouTube channel. And okay, Keith, yeah, I also played with Ham Clock. I discovered that I'm playing with Ham Clock on different devices on the phone, like it was said on the WhatsApp group. It's very difficult, but on a tablet it really looks great, and on my 2 other computers it works great. So yeah, very interesting tool. So more news on the next over. Oh, by the way, yes, 7 degrees and cloudy. 7 degrees and cloudy. Yesterday we had 10 degrees and sunshine, kind of like a spring day. But today it was 7 degrees and cloudy and no freezing here, even not at the evening and the night. So quite good, and in the coming days we will have more of 10, 11 degrees, something like that. So back to you, Jeff. Mike Zero AUG, the group coordinate November Tango.
Right, but thank you, the group, yeah, thanks for that, Jeff, and all the info there. I think at the moment here, before I came on the net, it was about 4 degrees and it was still raining, so it's not been a good day for weather over here. And we get quite a lot of wind here, but obviously we're pretty adjacent to one of the airfields here, so obviously you need wind at an airfield to keep the planes in there, don't you? So that's where we are at the moment. Okay, over to you, Dave. G607 Group M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, G6ZSN. Thanks, Jeff, and good evening to everyone else again. A few things I've done in the last few weeks. I have changed the fan in the 5100, and it works very well. In fact, I can't hear it at all at the moment. Yeah, it is just about working. It was quite an easy setup, but I found that the guy who did the plan for doing it left too much wire. In hindsight, I should have measured the wire before I did it to check how much I was using. There's quite a bit wrapped up tidily inside the radio. I've been on the net, been on the HF quite a few times just lately, and I actually managed to get the Cayman Islands. How the heck I managed it, I don't know, because I could hardly hear the guy on the other end. But he did acknowledge me, and he had my call sign, so that was a good DX for myself, a very unusual one as well. Last weekend, I absolutely ripped my shack apart and have redone it completely, hiding the radios away and just having their heads on my bench. It's a lot neater, and I can have a lot more space up here now. Weather-wise, it's been an atrocious day. Continuous rain, pretty much. In the very few clear spaces we've had, it's been yuck weather. I did message Andrew this morning to remind him of the net, but I see he hasn't picked up the message. Other than that, everything's pretty much as normal here. I've been working too hard as usual. In my new position as a trustee, I now have 3 groups under me, and I'm trying to run those as well as do other work. But keeps me interested and keeps me busy, I guess. Retired? What's that? I don't think I've ever retired. And I'm in my mid-70s, and I don't think I've stopped since the 90s. So, yeah, I'm keeping it fit, or so they say. Back to you, Jeff. G6ZSN in the group. G6ZSN.
G607 Group M0AUG. It's fine on that, Dave, and your audio was very good on the 5100, and good that you were able to change the fan for the quieter version on that. And also, looking into the Cayman Islands, not on the 5100, but on the HF as well. That must have been very, very rewarding for you. Yeah. What is this retirement thing? I don't seem to have found it yet, and I'm a good bit older than you there, Dave. Just in my early 80s, and still working hard at winding down the business slowly. But it's difficult when you've had a business that you've been built up over the last 30 years, and some of your clients have been with you all that time. It's difficult to break away from them. But there we are. Keeps Grey Matter going as well, so I'm told. All right, over to Nick now. Now, for everybody else's benefit, Nick has been doing some marvellous work on the IT side this week, and getting ready for the 145 Alive contest this weekend, and obviously with the special event call signs that the club has got. And Nick has been doing quite a bit of work on the appropriate QRZ pages, etc. on the website. So that's your introduction at the moment there, Nick. G4IW in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, no problem at all, Jeff. And it has kept me away from the radio, I do have to tell you that. I don't seem to have done an awful lot of radio, given I've been spending so much time playing with the photographs and uploading QRZ pages for the special event call signs that we've got and we're going to be using next year. And good evening to our listeners on YouTube. We have got a few people listening currently. Numbers keep going up and down, but very welcome. And one thing I can say, just listening to the output from YouTube, and Owen M0OGR has just said the audio sounds good to him. And I've been monitoring it as well from my phone live as people were talking, and the audio does sound very good, and that's partly down of course to the radios that the people are using, but also the way that XLX 305D is behaving this week, which it doesn't always do. Ken and I are getting slightly worried about what the operating conditions are going to be like at the weekend on Saturday, given how cold and extremely windy it certainly is here and down where Ken is, and I think further down in South Yorkshire they've had snow this afternoon as we have, although our snow hasn't settled where I live, but it could well have settled on the tops of the hills there. Yeah, it's all very good, and I think if we have to, I will certainly be operating from the car at the weekend, parked up at Blackstone Edge, but I will have a couple of different antennas that I can use outside, supported by a nice fiberglass pole by the on the side of the hill there. So that's what we're intending to do. I'm really hoping that 2 meters quietens off a bit and I can have a bit of a play on either 40 meters or 20 meters for a while, and if I do, obviously I will post up in the WhatsApp group the frequency that I'm on, and I will also post up the frequency I'm operating from on 2 meters. I'm pretty sure, unless there's a marvellous lift, that Mike and Adriana wouldn't get me, but Jeff possibly will there in Belgium. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO group, M0AUG returning. Yes, thanks for the update on that. And people will appreciate the amount of work you've done on the special event stations, getting the publicity on QRZ, and also using the updated logo that we've now got in there. But you can tell us more about that next time around. Over to you now, I'm Mike and Adria in Northern Germany. DO1BJW with the LABET, M0AUG. Over to you, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. First of all, Lou, KJJ, you have very good audio with the headset on the ID50. There's nothing to worry about. It's really excellent. Radio-wise, it was not so much I could do this past week, but nevertheless, some things occurred there or popped up. For once, I was very astonished to have an SSB POTA contact with Taunton, where Dave is staying. This guy was working off the golf course of Taunton, and we had a nice little contact. That was fun. And otherwise, I've seen there are many Zulu Victor stations from Brazil on CW and on FD8 and FD4 because the National Association for Hams in Brazil, called LABRE, Lima Alpha Bravo Romeo Echo, has got a jubilee, so to speak, and they put up stations there from several or perhaps even all Brazilian federal states, which can be worked one after the other. That's interesting. CW-wise, I've had two things which were quite nice for me. First, I worked 3 Bravo 8 hotel from Mauritius, and a real nice CW QSO with 70 watts and NFET half wave. That was a highlight. And later on, I had a nice QSO and CW with K2 Victor Victor, who is in the Midwest states near St. Louis. And there I was using only 20 watts and the vertical antenna, the Rybakov outside, which was frozen over, by the way. And that was also a nice contact. So everything okay over here. I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, radio-wise, I have nothing special to report. The WWA contest has finished, and I can be quite satisfied, because with only up to 20 watts, I have got 600 points, and therefore I've got the broad which I think quite good. And yes, during the last days arrived the cable. I think I told you about the possibility to power the QRP rigs, especially the TrueSDX and the QMX, by using power. Just a moment, I have a power bank, a special power bank for which is also can be used for powering your handheld cell phone. And these power banks usually have only an output of 5 watts, but with a special 5 volts, and but with a special cable which transfers the power output into 12 volts. It's so-called short USB-C 12-volt PD cable. You can power the QMX or the TrueSDX so by using the power bank. And we saw a quite small power bank which has been used by I think they're called the ham radio couple of the duo, the ham radio duo, which who are making YouTube videos for ham radio. It is called the EMU power bank, and it's capable to use this PD cable. Yes, it works. It works. On the first run, I want to spare a little bit money. I used a cheaper version of the cable, but this couldn't transfer the output from 5 volts into 12 volts. But now with the right cable, everything works. So these are the breaking news from my side, and I have the microphone back to N0AUG for the group.
DL8 to BDT with DL1, DJW with group M0H returning. Yes, fine, Mike Elsia. And well done, Mike, and well done, Richard, on the other contacts there. And it's really satisfying when you get the contact where you never worked before. And as you all know, my main interest in radio is contests. And part of the advantage of the contests for a limited station that I've got, it enables us to stick out far my signal. with the dongles and things like that, and that's always worked a treat for me. And so on the Sunday mornings, I'm able to come upstairs and bed using the dongle to power the noise operated OS2, and use a power bank like that, and then I can use the radio with the OS2 again. So I use that quite a lot, and very, very useful indeed. Okay, everybody's liking your audio with the headset there, Clue. JKJJ in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ. Yes, thanks, Jeff, for that. Well, I'm not on the dashboard. Why am I not on the dashboard? Oh, yeah, it's okay. I've come up. Sorry. Thanks for the audio report, Mike and Jeff. I'm pleased that that's sounding good. And also, congratulations to Adriana. 600 points WWA contest with 20 watts is very good indeed. Excellent. Blackstone Edge, Nick. I'll listen out for you on 2 meters.
And on YouTube.
Whether or not we can make contact. I've got an HV9 which is on the map on the side of the house, but it doesn't get out too well. Unfortunately, it wants to be a bit higher. It's not actually getting over the house. But anyway, I'll certainly have a listen. And Keith, I'm not sure what Openham clock is, so maybe you could explain a bit on that. I've been looking into the question I asked last week regarding UK amateurs being involved in rebuilding the internet in the event of a disaster. It seems that RayNet and the RSGB are involved in providing emergency networks using a variety of modes, including digital and packet, to communicate without relying on the internet or cell towers. So that's good news all round. The headset adapter, which I'm using tonight, allows me to use a dynamic mic with the ID50. Of course, the ICOM rigs all use condenser mics. And the other big drawback of the ID50 is that it's a non-standard 2-pin plug. So you can't use standard 2.5mm jack plugs and 3.5mm jack plugs. You've got to buy their special adapter. But it is possible to buy all the kit, but it's very expensive, so I've made my own. I do have a picture of the adapter, which I will share at the end of the net. Hopefully, I'll share at the end of the net if the ID50 transmits the information for the picture. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ.
JKJJ in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, fine, Marlon. Thanks for the update on the headset. And whatever you're doing with it, it certainly is working well, and your audio is very, very nice and crisp. I'm looking forward to hearing more on the next show. And of course, the picture at the end of the session this evening. Over to you there, Bob. Another 4 Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG. You can give us your updates on Porter there, Bob. M0AUG with group, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. And Lou, your audio is perfect. Your audio is perfect.
N4XAT.
Pennine Ham image. With this new AI and some of the new technology that's out there, I'm way behind. But it's surprising what one can do today. And like you say, that image, you can't tell that sign isn't the real sign. It came out so well. It's just something. I had promised my hunter standings as of this morning. Worldwide, I was 734 as a hunter. I've had 3,228 parks. I need 4 more for my morning QSOs to get another award. I have 11,748 contacts, and 10,157 of those parts are in CW. 1332 in SSB and 259 in FTA. So there you go. I do have a photo. It's a continuation of my last photo. I'll try to get back to ships as soon as I can. I just haven't had too many other things come up where I haven't had time. But the next photo I think that some of you will find interesting. With that, back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG Group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. GM4JK Group, M0 AUG.
Yeah, M0 AUG and the group GM4JKZ. Yeah, missed your first part, I think, of your over acknowledging Bob there, but I picked up on you calling me, and yeah, congratulations there, Bob, on those numbers. That's some achievement, I must admit, and it just progresses and expands, of course. And also congrats to Adriana on 600 points on WWA. I should have mentioned that previously. That's a very good score. Last year, I didn't get anywhere near that, but I did get a bronze, I must admit. Just talking about retirement. Retirement to me means I don't earn a crust anymore going to work, but I've just had a message from my daughter with some pictures saying, next time you come down, Dad, I need a pergola built along the entire back of the house, please. About another 50-odd slabs laid for a patio, some wallpapering to be done, and some built-in cabinets. So I can see another 3-week event down there when the weather improves, of course. So that's my retirement. And, of course, up here I've got an entire hallway, which is probably about 50 feet long in an L shape, to strip carpeting out, refloor it, wallpaper the walls here, paint the ceilings and skirting boards and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's nice to actually go to bed at night. Well, there we go. I missed last week, by the way. I think I did mention that I was running updates on my PC, trying to expand my C drive. But interestingly enough, a bit of a word of advice. If you're one of those that stores things on your desktop, as I do, I cleared my desktop, cleaned the drive, and I recovered about 9 gigs of data space. And the way I found out was I tried to update Ham Radio Deluxe to the latest version, and it only needed 900 megs, and I didn't have enough space, so cleared everything out, stored it elsewhere, and now I've got an additional 9 gigs, or it's 9.6 gigs, I think it was. So, word of advice: have a look, see, and do some cleaning, and that's what I've been doing as well since then. Having a look each day and deciding where the duplicates are, running a bit of software to find the duplicates and clearing all those out. So there we go. Awards-wise, I I thought I might have a check to see whether or not I was eligible for the RSGB Commonwealth Award. So that's what I'll be doing over the next week, is checking the log against the parameters required. And yeah, the Open Ham Clock, if you go into openhamclock, all one word, .com, it's a map of the world with various stations that are visible on there, which are on the DX cluster. And you can select one of them, and the vocap map on the bottom left-hand side will show you the probability of working that station. It's got the solar map on there. It's got all your details. It's got DS cluster, PSK reporter, if it's linked in. It displays the current expeditions that are there around. So J38WG, TY5GG, 5Z4 in Kenya. Poster activators on the bottom right-hand corner, and also it shows you a live list of the contests which you can scroll through. So it's quite a nice one, and the colouring of the call signs on the map relates to the bands. So I'm quite impressed, and that was with the knowledge that the ham clock, as I'm led to believe, is going to disappear somewhere around June this year, I think. So there we go. Right, okay, back to you there, Jeff. And I also have a picture which will make everybody a lot happier today. M0AUG with the group, GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG. Yes, fine enough. And I'll have a look at this Open Ham Clock, and I believe the other one is closing down sometime in the mid-year, but nothing definite on that. And finally, tips that you give to people on the amount of storage you have on the laptop. So I maybe look at mine at the moment, and I just went on there and I've got about 170 gig free at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about that in the short term. But thanks for the tips on that one anyway. Over to the left there, Oscar, November 8, November 10 on the group, Mike 0, Alpha Uniform Golf.
Mike 0, Alpha Uniform Golf. Of an 8 November Tango, yeah, okay. First of all, Lou, your audio is excellent, so no problem at all there, and congratulations on your 70 cent e-clan antenna. Looking forward to hear how that is working actually in real life. So very good. Okay, Lou, and Mike, congratulations on your compact. That's impressive in CW. And Adriana, with your 600 WWA, I haven't worked that many WWA stations this year. So, I missed that a little bit, but anyway. And on Saturday, Nick, I will certainly look out for the 145 live activity on 2 meters. I will point my antenna vertically into your direction, more or less, and maybe also on 40 meters or so. I hope to work you, and maybe also Ken and Owen and all the others who are active. And great, Bob, on your quota statistics. That's improving all the time. Unbelievable. Okay, though, radio-wise, this week I was pleased to work Andy to Echo Zero Golf Yankee India, our club member Andy, on 40 meters FT8. That really was a pleasure to work, and I think it's always great to work people, club members. That's even more enjoyable than to work the great geek, so to say. I was also pleased to work Kilo 8 Zulu Tango Anthony on FT8, on FT4 I think, he was on FT4, on 10 meters. By the way, 10 meters has been open during the last couple of days in the afternoon, especially into the States. So I worked quite a lot of stateside stations and some Latin American stations, but especially on my local afternoon here, which is around 14, 15, 1600 UTC. I work quite some USA stations, and I think Kilo 8 Zulu Tango is a QRP station, so he's not a big signal, but I work him on FT4, I think. So really great. On midday, I enjoyed a QSO on the International Space Station between one of the astronauts and the Belgian school here. It was really enjoyable. It worked very well. I couldn't hear the Belgian school, the students, because they were far away from me and they were pointing the antenna towards the ESS. But I could hear the answers from the astronauts very, very good. So I made a recording of that. If anyone would be interested in that, quite happy to share that. And the pass just before that, actually, I had my transceiver already on that frequency. So the pass just before that, I heard a Russian cosmonaut, they call them a cosmonaut, having QSOs in Russian with Russian stations. So that went also very well. I also recorded that, although I didn't understand a word of that. Okay, so quite happy with that. So back to you, Jeff. I do have a picture. Yeah, I do have a picture also, which will make some people happy, I hope. Mike Zero AUG, the group voor het November Tango.
Right, November Tango, the group M0 AUG, telling us fine, that, Jeff, and thanks for the interest with the space station, and I'd be interested to hear the audio of that one. If that's not too much trouble, I would appreciate that. Everybody's doing very well so far. Mike and our channel with their complex. I've not bothered with WWA this time around at all. But I know Elaine and G0KZH from the Oldham Club has been very active in that. And it's got some good results. So well done to the two of you and your other complex as well. Yeah, just one thing for the G6LSM. And Keith, GM for JKZ, is actually able to send pictures with the app and using his 5100. So maybe when you get further into the 5100, Dave, maybe that's something you might need to look at, and I'm sure that Keith will help you with that. Right, over to you, David, your turn. G6LSM group, M0AEG.
M0 AUG in the group G6SSN. Yeah, okay. I still got to get into FT4 and 8 yet, Jeff. I just don't have time or, at the moment, the patience, I don't think. But it's another thing for me to look at. And you are right, it is a 5100 that I've got. I'm going to make this my final, because I've been up since 4:30. So I tend to go to bed fairly early. Mike, can you give me the call sign of the station in Taunton? I wasn't aware that there was anyone else on HF around here, so it would be interesting to find out who it was and if I know them. But other than that, I don't think I've got anything else. I won't be here, as I said, next week, but hopefully I will for the next 3 weeks after that. Temporary all, have a good evening, and let's hope this rain and snow in some cases eases off and gives us a little spate of sunshine for a while. M0 AUG in the group, G6ZSN.
G6ZSN in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yes, your audio is very, very good. As it is on the 7100 there. On the 5100 that you've got. The audio is very, very good indeed there, Dave. And very nice and crisp and readable. And no doubt Mike might be able to give you the call sign of the station that he works also down in the Taunton area. I know you don't go to here next week, but if you're speaking to Andrew in the meantime, please give him our best wishes from the group, if you will, please, Dave. And thanks for joining us this evening. Over to you then, G4IW in the group, M0AG.
M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and thank you everyone for comments. And by the way, Jeff, you were talking about Andy 2E0GYI. He posted a note tonight saying now he's got a better router and internet connection at home, he's going to see about logging on using Blue DV onto the club digital net. So it'd be really good if we could see Andy here in future weeks. Jeff M0AUG put me in contact with Ian G8ZHC, who had been playing with the club logo. So if you think of the club website and so on, we have a photograph which I took on the Pennine Way of a wooden sign which has been the wood has been carved out to write on it Pennine Way. So he ran that through an AI program and asked it to change the way to Pennine Ham. And the new picture looks as if it was taken by me on the camera. So it looks as if it's a piece of wood and the word ham has been cut out of the wood. It's extremely impressive. You just cannot tell the difference between that and the Pennine Way one, other than we've now got our logo and what would have been the Pennine Way photograph that I took. So a big thank you to Ian G8ZHC for playing with that. And as you'll see later when I send the photograph, it inspired me to have a go at using AI. So I inserted into AI a photograph of me actually operating on a mountain in Germany using a handheld radio, and asked it to turn it into a logo with the name of our club and my name and my call sign. So you'll see later what AI has done to that and produced, I think, quite an interesting logo. And as Jeff said, my time's been taken up with photographs, so playing around with the nice, effectively QSL cards there'll be for GB1PH and GB2PH. And for Lou, G8KJJ, what they're suggesting for the 145 live event, which was essentially set up as in the words of 145, an FM radio communication to get more people active on FM radio. They're going to have single sideband as well, but they're going to run single sideband vertically polarized as well. So I'm intending to run my SSB vertically polarized. I'm not going to have a horizontal antenna at all. So if you're able to turn your beam to vertical polarization, Lou, you'll probably have some success in running that. Just talking about batteries, I've been charging up my batteries to take with me on Saturday. So I've got a nice LiPo battery, 8 ampere LiPo battery, which will probably do me. I've got a 12 ampere slab, the big heavy original batteries we all used. I've charged that as well, and I've got a couple of smaller LiFePo 4 batteries as well. So I'm 100% certain I'm not going to run out of battery power on Saturday when I go up there. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO.
G4IWO group M0 AUG. Yes, fine on Nick, and it was good to hear the results that he was able to provide for you with the modifications on the logo and this sort of thing. And it was just, Ian and I know each other for many, many years. Ian is the former chair of the Oldham Radio Club, and he and I go back a long time, and we have an occasional coffee together, because he lives in Southport and I live over there in the Preston area. So we'll be somewhere in between and Superfast. So it was Ian's suggestion, just said, I've been playing around with the logo, what do you think? And I just said, well, bang it over to Nick, I'm sure he'll like it. And obviously you can all see the result from that. So over to Mike Hunter in Northern Germany now. I think everybody else, apart from that Mike Hunter, are probably going to be sending photographs later. So if you want to call this your finals and continue on just listening to what's going on, absolutely fine. As usual, it's been great to have you both on this evening, and thanks for all your input and sharing your successes with Mauritius and the WWA, etc. Over to you there, Mike. M0AG.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Julie Whiskey with the final. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we will make this our final too. Dave, as far as I can remember by my logbook here, it must have been a station not from Taunton, but portable in Taunton. And I think it was Golf 4 November Alpha Queen. Golf 4 November Alpha Queen portable, Clive. Situated normally not far away from Bristol, I think. Was program wise portable there. Yeah, I think that was correct. Okay, this weekend will be a very active one. Radio-wise, I think we will try to listen into the 145 live event, but not with much hope from our side because of the KDH situation here. It's very difficult for 2 meters into the UK. Perhaps on FD8 would be possible, I think. But otherwise, of course, 40 meters and 20 meters could be. We will have a look into it. And apart from that, there will also be 2 contests this weekend on the air. One is the RTTY contest from Mexico, acting worldwide for everybody to participate. And the second one is the EU DX contest, which will go on the air on CW and SSB, and also be from noon Saturday to noon Sunday. The RTTY contest will be from noon Saturday to midnight Sunday to Monday. So lots of things to do and to follow up on. Yeah, so I say thank you for this nice evening again, and it was very interesting to hear you all and your informations and to get new things to think over and perhaps even to do. So thank you most of all for hosting the net, Jeff. Excellent work again. Thank you. And hope to see you all safe and sound next week. And perhaps even hear you on the net, not on the net, on the air, and perhaps even on Saturday. We will try anyway. So thanks. Have a nice evening. Good rest of the week. And a very good weekend coming up from Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Wishing you a 73s. All the best. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, thank you very much for this interesting and informative evening. And it was a pleasure, as always, to talk to you. And we will try to get you on the air during the weekend and hope that this will work. So all the best, 73 and 88 from Northern Germany. I'm handing the microphone to M0AUG for the group. Bye-bye.
The IPDT with the L1 BJW in the group M0 AUG returning. Yes, I'm out down Mike, and as usual, thank you for joining me this evening, and your contributions as well. And we look forward to what you've been doing during next week when we catch up with you next Thursday evening. Thanks once again, both of you. Your input is appreciated. Stay healthy, stay safe, and look after yourselves. And we'll catch you next week. Right, we're going to go now over to the ones who have started the photographs. I assume that Bob will be sending a photograph, so we'll go over to you then first of all, Lou. JKJJ in the group M0AG.
M0 AUG and the group GAKJJ. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Well, first of all, thanks, Keith, for the info on Open Ham Clock. That sounds very interesting, and I'll have a look at that. Bob, incredible poter. I started writing down the numbers, but there was too many noughts, so I gave up. But it was incredible, an incredible score. And congrats on your ISS activity, Jeff. I haven't been listening to the satellites. The weather just hasn't been good enough to put the antenna out and to get it all set up. But yeah, that was very good, and I would have liked to have done that, but the weather's just too poor. Not too much rain about. Nick, the signpost, I hadn't noticed that. I'd seen the logo had changed a little. I thought you'd sort of made it more obvious, but I hadn't seen that the wording had changed. So that's very good. Excellent. And I will be using horizontal, so whether or not that's going to work, I don't know. But I have worked vertical stations with the horizontal antenna, but it's a bit hit and miss. Thanks to Jeff for hosting the net, and 73 to everyone on the net this evening. I'll put on the photo right now. Okay.
Group M0AG, you're returning. I'll get a photograph there, Lou, and I'll pass it over to us for comments, and we'll start with Jeff, G4IWO, M0AG.
M0 AUG from G4IWO. Yeah, nice picture, Lou. Not quite got it all. I received 98%, but the picture itself is very good quality, and the missing blocks don't deteriorate at all. So no need to resend that, but lovely picture. Back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group G4IWO.
Thanks for that, Nick, and over to you, Bob, for your comment. N4X18 in the group, M0AUG. This is N4X18. I only received 56% of the picture. The funny part about it is, it's the second half of the picture I got perfect, but the first half, I missed most of it. So if you could send it again, that would be fine. Otherwise, from the bottom of the picture, I can see everything I believe that I'm supposed to be saying. Thanks for that, Bob. Can you send the picture again, please, Lou?
Yeah, that's a Roger.
with you, Bob. How was that one? Much better. It says 92%, but I can only see a few blocks missing, so that's perfect. And like I had said earlier, the second half of the photo has all the information in it anyway, so that's great. Thank you for the resend. M4X13 in the group M0AUG. Do you want to send your picture now, Bob? Right. I'll send my picture. This is sort of a picture similar to the one that I recently sent. In 2007, the Tower of London made a new historical venture. They hired their first female yeoman warder, and I have a photo of her and me together at the tower. So stand by, and I'll send that photo. Thanks, Bob. That was nice and clear with me. I'll pass it over to Nick first of all. Were you okay with Lou's photograph as well as Bob's there, Nick?
Yeah, lovely photograph. 100% copy here, Jeff. Back to you.
Thank you for that. Sorry, I've just been a bit distracted. I just had a WhatsApp message coming through that the second friend of ours has died this week. So sorry if I'm a bit disjointed there. Over to you, Keith, for your feedback on both Lou and Bob. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AG.
From GM4JKZ, sorry to hear the news there, Jeff. Never good, I must admit. Lou's, I had a few blocks missing, but I copied the bulk of the picture, that was fine. And Bob's is just superb, I must admit. Lovely colour uniform. I'm just trying to work what... oh no, there's no label on his hat, but yeah, 100%, very good.
Thanks, thank you. Little bit of yeoman of the guard, probably once, I would imagine, looking at that uniform. But there we go from there. So over to you for your comments first of all on Lou and Bob there, Jeff. Oscar November 8 November Tango, M0AG.
Okay, Jeff, I got Lou's photo the second time 100%, the first time was 91%. So, and then the photo from Bob was 100%, Jeff, Mark 0AG, the group over 8 November Tango.
Thanks, Bob. I think that photograph that Bob sent is absolutely superb. The colours are so vivid and everything else. And yeah, it's a nice picture as well. Over to you for your picture now, please, Keith. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AG.
M0AG, group GM4JKZ. Yeah, fine there, Jeff. For Dave, I've put on WhatsApp the song where he needs to run his 5100 in picture mode. I'm happy to talk him through that, no problems at all. the RSMS1A software. And I'm hoping you're going to get this through. Oh, by the way, yes, Mike, if you're still listening, thanks for reminding me about the Mexico Rizzi. I missed that last night talking to Jim. So, yes, I should be on that this weekend coming. Picture tonight should cheer us all up, but bear in mind I'm not running terminal mode. I'm running hotspot mode, so I'm hoping you'll get most of it the first time round, QX1.
Quite a few blocks missing on that. Keith, I'll say it again, please. Thanks, Keith. I was 100% in the lead. Over to you, Nick.
Yeah, G4IWO returning 99% from me, just one missing block, but still a fabulous picture. I'll post it on the WhatsApp group. Back to you, JFM0AUG, G4IWO.
Thanks, Nick. Do you want Keith to say anything else?
I don't think it matters. When I post it on the WhatsApp group, you'll see that literally, all but the tiniest little space is missing. Over.
Okay, thanks very much for that one. And over to you, Lou. How did you go on with Keith's picture there, Lou?
Yeah, I've got a problem, Jeff. I've received Bob's picture perfectly. That's not a problem. But Keith, for some reason, the tablet's hung up, and I don't know quite what's wrong with it. So I didn't get anything at all. But that's not. I don't let that stop. Don't keep sending it because I've got a problem this end. Go ahead.
Are you sure that you don't want us to give it a try sending it again?
No, because the tablet seems to have died.
Okay, then. Well, thank you for that. And over to you there, Bob. How did you want with Keith's picture, please? The same block that Nick missed, but the picture is fine. I don't need a resend. And while I have the key down, in case anyone's interested, the winner's name is Moira Cameron. Moira Cameron, and of course she was Scottish, I believe, as I can recall. And of course, she was at least a war officer with 22 years of service before she was appointed to the tower. So that's fine. And thank you again for running that, Jeff. Back to you. Okay then, well, what's more important, thank you to you for joining us this evening and your contributions as well. And the same for everybody. Right, over to the master now. Oscar November 8 November time in the group. M0AUG, over to you then, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff, 90AUG, the group over there. The last picture from Keith went from the 96% to 99%, and I was missing one block just above the number 4. So GM4JKZ, just above the 4, I was missing one block. But beautiful picture, actually all beautiful pictures this evening. So I really enjoyed all these beautiful pictures, which are all coming from all kinds of the world, so to say, from all sides of the world. First of all, Jeff, thank you very much for organizing the net, for hosting the net. Really a real pleasure. 73 to everyone. And my picture will be some flowers. In the Netherlands, they are growing tulips. But they're also growing tulips in Belgium. So this is a picture that I got this summer of a field of tulips and different colors, and I hope that will also joy up your day and this cold, snowy, icy weather. So the picture is coming. QRX.
Nice picture, Jeff, 100% with me. I'll just go down the list now with G4IWO and 0AG.
Yeah, G4IWO, 100% with me. Back to you.
Thanks, Nick. Hello for the YouTube channel, I think. Over to you, Lou, G8KJJ, 0AG.
Yeah, M0AUG in the group, G8KJJ. Yeah, I got 100%, but it's not displayed on the. It's 100% in the rig, but it's not displaying on the tablet, so I can't see it at the moment. I've got to download it. Back to you.
That's fine, Lou, as long as you're able to see the picture, and thanks for your contribution this evening. Over to you, Bob, for your comments, and 580 in the group. The picture is 100%, and if I take it off of my rig and put it on a large screen, I think it would be beautiful. It really looks good. And by the way, the next time that you're listening to the satellites, to the cosmonauts, listen for the word Briome. That means reception. They use the same time we use the word over. So you'll know that out to the end of the fellow's transmission and he's going for the other side to come back to him. Hi. Have a good one and thanks again. Well, thank you for the comments and thank you again for joining us this week. And we look forward to catching up with you next Thursday. So have a good week in the meantime. Over to you, Keith, GM4JKZ.
From GM4JKZ, I just got about 14 blocks missing from the bottom third, Jeff. So, but the pictures are really, really good. Thanks for that. From GM4JKZ.
Thanks, Keith. Do you want to just send this again, Jeff?
No problem at all, I can do that.
Okay.
M.
Yeah, 100% this time, Jeff. Yeah, lovely picture that. And I've got it up on a big screen as well. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Keith, and thanks very much for your contribution this evening. And thank you to everybody who's been on with that this evening, and to all those who were involved in sending the photographs as well. And, I hope anybody who's, not been on the photograph side, I don't know if you can join in or not with the pictures. And depends on the radio you've got. Mark Anjani might be able to join in with the ID52 maybe. I don't know if you actually see the pictures of the radio will, but I don't know if you're doing that. Thanks everybody for joining us this week. I look forward to catching up with you all on next Thursday evening. Have a good week. Stay safe with all of us around us at the moment. I look forward to catching up with you again. This ends the AG673 to all members and friends of Pennine Ham for another week. Bye for now.
G4IWO, Jeff, I'm just going to quickly send the photograph I've got here as well. G4IWO, back to sending.
Apologies there, Nick. Apologies. G4IWO, M0AG. Yeah, 100% picture there, Nick. It came through quite slowly, and I could hear audio in the background. I'll pass it over straight away to our expert, who I think November Tango in the group. Your comments, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. It was in slow mo, and actually I missed quite some blocks, I must say. So yeah, maybe 20% or so I was missing. So yeah, I don't know what the others, how the others received it. So maybe it's maybe you should ask to keep that to Bob and to see if it's necessary to resend it.
Thanks for your comments there, Jeff. So, we'll go through first of all, JKJJ, M0AG.
Yeah, M0AUG and the group JKJJ. Yeah, I actually I got the tablet working. I reset it. I got most of that. Just the top section was missing, but I can see the logo. I can see Nick. I can see portable operator. It's a good picture, but I missed the top part. I think that may have been because it was still loading in. Anyway.
Thanks, Lou, and over to you for your comments there, Bob. This is N4XAT. I got it 100%, but I do have a query. First of all, I could hear a little bit of noise in the background, but as the picture came over, generally I hear a beep at the end of each block, and I didn't hear any beeps at all. So apparently you have a way of sending it that I'm not familiar with, and maybe you could explain that, Nick. But I do have the picture 100%. Before we go back to Nick, we'll go over to Keith, please.
From GM4JKZ, yeah, likewise, 100%, lovely picture. And all I could hear was the odd paper shuffling and a bit of heavy breathing. But, so how do you send it without the audio then, Nick? Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, GM4JKZ.
Thanks for that, Keith. And I'll just go over to Jeff in Belgium now for your comments on 8MTM0AG.
Yeah, okay. The way Nick is doing is actually the slow mode, as they call it. So you could send the picture and your voice at the same time. So you can speak and at the same time transmitting a picture. For example, a small QSL card, because if that is a big picture, that would take ages. But that's 4 times slower than the fast mode, which is only data transmitting over the bandwidth of the D-Star signal. So that's the explanation, actually. So if you want to talk and give your QSL card at the same time, that's the way to do how Nick has done, but that's much, much slower. So back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango.
Thanks everybody for your comments. Back to you, Nick, G4IWO, M0AUG.
Yes, M0AUG from G4IWO. There's too much technology going on here because I'm also controlling the YouTube stream at the same time through a virtual mixing program on the PC here. And that's not making life particularly simple. But Jeff, in answer to your query, I pressed the TX All button on the picture, which I think is what you said to do. And as you said, it clearly activated audio as well as the sending the picture at the same time, which was a lot slower. If I press the picked TX button, presumably that just sends the picture over.
No, it's the other way around. The pick TX is the slow mode, is the speech, and the DxO is just a picture. So you maybe have misfit, but not so to say.
Yeah, G4IW, I'll be telling you, no, I didn't actually, Jeff. 100% certain I hit TX all, which makes it very strange indeed. It could be something to do with the output I've got from the 705 going into my computer into this streaming network here that's creating that problem. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, G4IWO.
G4IWO, M0AUG, thanks. Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody's comments and being on the net this evening. And I must try and find a way to get involved in this with my pictures. And not that I've got many pictures so far, but I'm sure if I go back in the archives and things like that on the cruises and what have you, we'll find something like that. So, with that, probably time to close for this evening. Thanks everybody for your contributions, both on the net itself and in the pictures. And we look forward to catching up with you either on the net for the 145 or the All-Active Nations this week, or back in this environment next Thursday evening. So, stay safe, take care, and look after yourselves. M0AUG, now off and clear, 7-3.